Good morning, this is Pixie. How are you doing? There's a few things to talk about. Some Covid things actually, probably. So, my uncle's has and still has. He's Covid-19 positive. And the issue is, he recently sent a message out, and my mum relayed the message and said that the antibiotics are not working. So I thought, well, antibiotics just ramp up your immune system. It's interesting. So I thought, well, she said, oh, there's certain antibiotics that work with certain viruses. I thought, okay, fine, let's have a look. So I looked up antibiotics. It doesn't work with flu viruses, colds, coughs. So it doesn't have any effect. What it's actually going to do is make it worse. So I don't know what the doctor's trying to do. I mean, if he thinks it's a secondary infection like pneumonia, maybe, but the problem is it makes the symptoms worse. It's the symptoms that are going to kill you. And a secondary infection will as well, but you can't breathe and stuff because your body's all filled up with gunk and so on. So I think it's a poor move. I mean, what I suggested is vitamin C. Use a natural thing that can boost your immune system rather than, relying on drugs, because you're just ramping up your body to overreact to something, and it's the overreaction which causes a hell of a lot more damage. So I don't know if the doctor's trying to kill my uncle off, or if he's trying to help him, or he just doesn't know what he's doing. But I think that's a poor advice. I know he has to do something, but I think the antibiotics is probably a bad move. I think after the symptoms have gone, then there wouldn't be a problem. However, it might reactivate the symptoms. But what you're trying to do is, when your immune system, you're probably ramping back up again, because you're a week after you've recovered from an illness, your body's still on high alert, and it may go on for a lot longer than that. This is one of the reasons why you develop some immunity, because your body's shielding itself while it's healing. It's putting out the guard. So I'd say vitamin C, raw like lemon juice, things like that, things you'd normally use for colds and stuff. Do that. Maybe play around with a bit of alcohol, just something in the spirits, just to clear the chest, warm it up a bit, hold it in your mouth for a bit, breathe in the vapours, and swallow. Just let it sterilise yourself. That's the intention behind that. So that's one thing. Another thing I come up with in my head was how to improve face masks. Now you can double mask. If you come across someone who's ill, you could wear 2 masks, and that way you can always throw the old one away if it got some, stuff on it, fluids or something. Or someone coughed in your face or did something mad. Different, walking around with weight walking. Just a bit heavy on your legs. And just thinking, what else? Yeah, you can also put cotton wool. If you put a small amount of cotton wool up your nose, it creates a filter, that barrier, so it may improve to do with resistance for a virus or particles to get up your nose, basically. And by the time they might get up there, they may have died anyway. COVID's got a kind of like a half-life, so it does become less and less effective the longer it's out a host. But we can't guarantee how long it can live, and can it live on other things like bacteria and so on. So there's those other factors in there. But I mean, you can play around with bits of foam or whatever, go up your nose, and then put the mask over that. It's just, you don't want to have resistance, so it's hard breathing, because you'll be breathing in deeper, and therefore potentially when it does get in there, you could breathe, sucking it in deeper into your lungs. A bit like I've sterilised my lungs when I get back. Encounter people who've got coughs and colds, and so that's the issue, is that you put you at risk. The other thing I was thinking about, rather than clapping for carers, why don't you give them food? If you see some people in National Health, give them a food parcel would be better, because they might have difficulty going to shops and things like soup and stuff. Just keep them going, and that's much more nicer. Having someone gives you tea bags and you make a cup of tea is much more thoughtful than a clap. People clapping, I mean, anyone can clap, you're not necessarily hearing. I mean, for me, it's too early. The game's not over. You clap at the end of something, not at the beginning of something. So it's it doesn't. And I also used to clap when people used to go to. I'm trying to think what it is. The Colosseum to die. That's it means lots of things clapping. So. Oh, well done, it's like entertainment. Well done, that's great. Like, yes, it's really good what you're doing. It's kind of a very American style thing, praising. I mean, we're kind of more critical in the UK. But I guess to a certain degree, Americans are as well. Like, their humour's critical. It's a bit more egocentric, but it's not a problem. See, we're in the West. We lean towards the intellectual narcissism. Why it may be on personality in America. It's like look at me, I'm cool. This kind of thing. In the UK, it might be, well, you would say that, wouldn't you? But that's based on what you believe. It's kind of a bit more drier and intellectually driven. And so there's always a desire to develop intellectually. And maybe for Americans it's to sound interesting, so it's different. Like if something wasn't cool but it was correct, you may say the thing that sounds more cooler, and so sometimes it doesn't sound right, and you weigh it up. Like, I'm coming right back at you. Are you? I don't see you coming back at me. I don't see you doing anything. It's kind of, it's a kind of bit of wordplay on that, but it's fun. I mean, it works both ways. It's just that everyone's developed differently, and also develops the industries as well as develop certain ways. Anything else on Covid? Yeah, I mean, you just got to make certain things. I mean, wearing masks, I would be an advocate is wearing something's better than nothing, and you don't need science evidence to prove that they work. You need evidence to prove they don't work, and by that time it'd be too late. So, basically it improves the area spray, breathing and stuff. And I think people are getting more concerned, and they're wearing more masks because the death rate's going up. And they don't really understand fully this virus or where it's come from. It seems strange that a lot of similar viruses have come around at the same time that attacked humans. It makes me wonder if it's a mixture between bloody SARS and an Ebola or something. We'll have to have a look at the things it causes. But one of the things is taste. So if your taste goes funny, that's something I'm going to have to check out. And smell. If you smell things, if they don't smell right, then you could have something if you're not having other symptoms. I mean, at the moment I just keeping my chest constantly clear of things. Doesn't mean I wouldn't have something. I've encountered one chap who's got a cold, and there's another chap last night. I wore my gear, but you can feel some sort of tightness, maybe a heaviness on the chest, a little bit. I'm also delivering food parcels, and I'm a key worker, so it's kind of difficult times. I just, and also fasting. Should I just keep fasting today or not? Sometimes you get bored of fasting. You feel good, but then you might put it back on a bit, so I may just extend it. There's no reason I've got to eat. Anyway, please sign off this video and have a great one.